It was fitting how the last goal Arsenal scored with Arsene Wenger as manager perfectly encapsulated the philosophy he used to redefine the North London club. Of all the many tributes afforded Wenger since he announced his decision to step down after nearly 22 years in charge, Pierre-Emerick's Aubameyang's winner against Huddersfield on Sunday was the most fitting. With this goal, Wenger's Gunners not only ended their Premier League season on a relative high with a first win away of 2018, they also offered one more example of the artful style of play Wenger has made a way of life at Arsenal since 1996. The goal was not necessarily the cleanest of the Wenger era, nor did it sufficiently enliven a fairly static game played in an almost testimonial-like atmosphere at the Terriers' John Smith Stadium. Wenger spent most of the day basking in something akin to a royal goodbye from both away fans and home supporters. Meanwhile, Huddersfield's players lacked a little edge since the buzz of securing Premier League survival with a game to spare had turned to relaxed relief. Even so, Wenger would have been pleased to sign off with a win. Yet his greater satisfaction should come from seeing his players apply the principles he holds so dear in order to achieve said win. The final Arsenal goal of the Wenger era came in the 38th minute. Typically, it was a flowing, intuitive move with the ball kept beyond the deck and moved from back to front via neat and incisive short passes. Shkodran Mustafi started things with a square ball to fellow centre-back Rob Holding. He passed forward to midfielder Aaron Ramsey, who quickly fed Henrik Mkhitaryan in the middle. The Armenian schemer eventually played a deft 1-2 with striker Alexander Lacazette. He took the return and fed in Ramsey, who had continued his run in the inside left channel. Ramsey's next action was to fire a low cross for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang to tap in from close range. Aubameyang getting the final touch was hardly a surprise, since the former Borussia Dortmund star has wasted no time becoming a free-scoring hit in the Premier League, with Bet365 using a comparison Chelsea fans won't like to sum up his instant impact. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is only one goal behind Alvaro Morata and has the same amount of assists as Eden Hazard. He didn't play in the Premier League until February. pic.twitter.com/VBSTKWWBJS, Bet365, at Bet365, May 13, 2018. Meanwhile, Ramsey's contribution added even more weight to his words of tribute after the match. "I am honored to have captained your final game, boss. I'm delighted we got the win for you and finally we won away. All I can say is I will forever be grateful for you giving me the opportunity to play for this club and believing in me through my career. I wish you all the best." pic.twitter.com/4ofzap1hg, Aaron Ramsey, at Aaron Ramsey, May 13, 2018. The goal took mere seconds to score, yet involved 6 players, 7 passes, and 8 touches. As much as quality on the ball, the move was also defined by the fluid positions of Wenger's players. The centre-backs were split, creating room for an expansive start to the attack. Meanwhile, the full-backs were typically high up the pitch, dragging markers out wide and creating more room for passes through the middle. Attacking players stayed on the move, rotating positions seamlessly to baffle static defenders. Left-sided forward for the day Mkhitaryan dropped deep into the middle, while central midfielder Ramsey hogged space out wide. When Lacazette dropped off the front, right-sided attacker Aubameyang drifted into the middle to become the number 9 of choice. In other words, the goal was vintage Wengerball. Such elaborate and slick combinations of passes between triangles of players have been Arsenal's trademark on Wenger's watch. also have endless rotations putting players into unfamiliar yet deadly positions. During the Wenger years, it has been common to see centre forwards act as wingers while defenders or midfield runners strode into areas strikers are more comfortable calling home. A deuce header against Charlton in 2002 springs to mind, as does Kolo Touré's finish against Liverpool in 2006, even during a season where Arsenal didn't turn on the style as consistently as their now former manager demanded. There have still been some wonderful moves and goals. Olivier Giroud's goal to beat Red Star Belgrade in the UEFA Europa League stands out. So does Mesut Ozil's cute finish in the 3-3 draw with Liverpool, while Alexander Lacazette's goal during a 4-1 win over Crystal Palace capped a move as pleasing on the eye as any in the Wenger era. Wenger's most famous team, the 2003-04 Invincibles, clinched the title at the home of local rivals Tottenham with this typically sweetly constructed scoring masterpiece, per Arsenal media. Their same perceptive movement and thoughtful 1- and 2-touch precision helped create this Tomas Rosicky classic against Sunderland in 2014, yet goals like these weren't always standard operating procedure at Arsenal. There has been a lifetime's worth of talk since Wenger revealed his decision to step down last month, about his impact on the English game, specifically the Premier League. Yet his true lasting legacy wasn't telling players to eat broccoli or stretch post-training. Instead, Wenger should best be remembered for the vision of play akin to free-form jazz he brought to the Gunners. In the process, he transformed a club rightfully known as boring Arsenal, into great entertainers. Sadly, Wenger's longevity and awesome early success eventually led to his most lasting impact not being accorded due respect. Arsenal's attractive style became so ingrained, familiarity eventually bred contempt. The passages of pretty play were taken for granted when they should have continued to be applauded. Wenger's fidelity to an expansive game was actually a rare but welcome alternative to the narrative of snarling aggression and defensive pragmatism too often allowed to dominate English football. For all the aesthetic finesse of Manchester City's Premier League champions and record-breaking Centurions, Pep Guardiola's style of play is nothing new to those who fondly remember the peak Wenger years. After a month of managers, former players, pundits and journalists eulogizing his career, the most fitting tribute came from the last goal Arsenal scored on his watch, a goal crafted in the Wenger way.